Content warning. The following show contains a host that smokes tobacco, discussions of fictitious violence, and a little bit of potty mouth language. Ooh. Viewer discretion is actually advised. Hey everybody, how you doing out there? How's it going? How's the word? What is the word? Okay, where are we at? All right, well, I am Solar Gray, the Cinematic Sorcerer, and welcome to the Hobby Hall. That's right. Today we are in the Hobby Hall, we are chilling, and we got some more work to do on a robot because, well, you guys helped me pick out the colors and all of that jazz. So instead of doing all the stuff that I would normally do when it comes to picking out colors and all of that other stuff, what do we got? We got more stuff to do, and a few more things to make being here today all that much more fun. And I like having fun. I don't know about you guys, but I really do. I enjoy having fun with stuff. Oh man, just adjusting a couple of things real quick. All right, yeah, there we go. And oh wow, yeah, we got a whole lot of people in the chat today. This is awesome. How you guys doing out there? So if you're wondering why I am so, like, what is the term, calm and chill today, it's because, well, it's raining again. Okay, it's raining again in Southern California, and that really sucks. I'm getting real tired of this, but that's okay. That's okay. We're doing the thing, and you know, with that, hey, that's what we're dealing with. You know, you do what you got to do when it's time to get stuff done and taken care of. But on a different note, last week we started painting a robot toy, okay? And the toy that we ended up going with, well, how can I put this? Yeah, it's really, really good stuff. I'm actually really enjoying how it looks and how we're putting everything together. So I want to get back to that today, okay? Because if we get this right, cool. Now, if you're wondering about the music, because, well, yeah, we got some really fun looking music and all that stuff, or fun sounding music. It's primarily because, well, how can I put this? The music that we put together, you know, I'm digging it. You know, I'm just really like, y'all know I like to paint. Yeah, y'all know that I like to paint and do all my crafts to really fun stuff. So you know what? I'm being cool, I'm being chill, you know. And yeah, so it's falling on your head like a memory, falling on your head like a new emotion. That's right. That's the rain again. You know, so thank you guys for being here. And if you guys have any questions or comments or anything like that, you want to talk to me or show off some of what you've painted, Neon Arlecchino has already opened the show. He's like on it, man. With the Discord invitation right here in the server. And you guys can totally just scroll up in the chat, hit the Discord, all that stuff. I want to see some of your posts. You know, we got Neon Arlecchino, who's like the meme king going on down there. We've actually got who is that? That's Cambria. Really trying to start up conversations and talking with folks, and that's some really cool stuff to do. And Xanathates has been posting their painting stuff, and man, you're killing me, Smalls. Like I said, I didn't know you were Imperial Fist, because yellow is hard. But if y'all got any other questions and want to talk to me directly, All you got to do is pull up your email and type in backinthedeck@gmail.com. That's BACKINTHEDECK @gmail.com. You can also hit me up on Twitter, also at Back in the Deck. You can hit me up also in many different ways on Instagram. Show me some of your stuff. Hey, maybe follow, and then I'll follow back, and we can become friends. And check out the stuff going on down there on those TikToks. The TikToks, as the kids like to call them. And on TikTok, you can totally hit me up at BIDPY. Mostly killing the Imperial Fist. Oh, you're killing me, man. You're killing. I'm dying. I am dead. And also, if you're a part of that wretched hive of scum and villainy known as Facebook, then come on down to Deckers on the Book. It's a public group. Black and White, now in color, and a few other people are really doing some good work and reaching out to the community and being all those guys. Like, that is very, very cool. All right. So with all that, oh yeah, I do appreciate a good enemy, man. You know why? Because I love any Primarch whose entire ethos is, Dad, you never understood me, Dad. So yeah, major shout outs to all that. Now, of course, we're going to talk about some deep stuff, all right? Because that's what we do. Because the things that we learn in game are things that can apply in your regular life. What was that? Oh, be fair. That's most of the Primarch. Yeah, you're right. It is most of the Primarchs, but Porter Robbo is special. Okay. Really special. Like, you never understood, Dad. He actually said that in one of the novels. Like, I like to make stuff, Dad. I know how things work, Dad. And it's like, no, you don't. Your power is to see how stuff breaks, kid. Anyway, so yeah, that guy. That's right. So with all that, last week, we started painting a really cool robot. Because I picked it up. I'm doing some stuff with a friend of mine, and of course I want to check that stuff out and take a look. But for those of you guys that aren't in the loop, let's take a look at the thing that we are painting up today, because honestly, this is just really cool stuff. Okay, I am just super jazzed. Whoa, what is all that? Nope. And boom. Okay. Yeah, I am really jazzed at what we're doing, because seriously speaking, yeah, this is some cool stuff. Hey, Emperor Panda, you're back. That is so cool. I've been worried about you, man. Seriously. Hadn't seen you for a while. I'm like, what did I do wrong? I'm sorry. You hate me now, don't you? You hate me. But no, I'm kidding. I'm really glad that you're here and all that stuff. I hope stuff is going all right for you. And if not, you can hit me up, and you can always hit me up in the DMs. I'm here if you need to talk. So, and that goes for all you guys that go onto those platforms, like real talk. All right. So today we are going to continue on with this guy. Oh, he is so awesome. And this is from Station Forge. All right. Great model. If you're like me and kind of like the Imperial Knights, but don't really like, one thing I gotta say about the Imperial Knights as models is they do not photograph well. They don't look cool until you're actually holding one, and then you go, wow, that's a cool toy. But this guy, he looked good on paper, he looked good there, and you guys helped me pick out a scheme, a little plan, a little scheme of what colors we're going to be painting him, which I think is very, very neat, very, very cool for you guys to do that. And so I am going to make sure that we get to that, because I'm trying a new camera setup today, guys. Yeah, right? He totally has an Iron Giant thing. Kind of like a Ironmonger type thing, you know? One of my favorite things is with his paint job so far, all I can see when I look at him is Tony Stark made this in a cave with scraps, you know? I'm really digging that. And I'm having a lot of fun. So last week when we went in, we used a paint that no miniature person, like no person that's into the hobby aspect of miniature wargaming would recommend, and that is the Liquitex Basics. Okay, we did the basics with this stuff, and I'm just like, ooh, that's right, red with polka dots. All right, but we had to put on his metallic layer. Now, I told you guys last week, in order to get a decent-esque looking candy coat with today's tools, okay, we have to put on our metals and all that stuff, but got to get a really, really good shine. So I took some lacquer, some enamel lacquer. Okay, is it here? Probably L somewhere, but yeah, I took some enamel lacquer, and I'm like, yeah. I sprayed it into a container, let some of the accelerant evaporate, but that's not something I would recommend doing if you're under 12 because huffing has never been cool. And I was able to get a really good gloss coat on the dude so that we can move on to our next part. All right, so let's head over to the hobby hall. I'm all gloved up. Oh my God, my hands are disappearing. Yeah, I'm all gloved up. So let's get over into the hobby hall itself and see what we got going, right? So here we are. Look at this guy. Oh my God, yeah. All right, and as you guys can see, he's got a really nice shiny coat, and this is a very glass, this is like a glass coat finish. It took me a couple of hours, so I figured I would do it off camera, all right? Because doing it off camera essentially meant that I could do all this stuff, and if I got a little weird, you guys wouldn't see that side of me, and this would still be safe for work. So we are going to go for the candy coat on this, guys. Now, the candy coat, you know, think like a car finish, okay? Now, there are a couple of ways you can do this. I really thought about going for thinning down some fingernail polish remover with minimal, or thinning down some fingernail polish with mineral spirits. That's one of the things that we could do, but I'll do that on a different project with you guys on a different day. All right, but we are going to go for this, and we're going to start with Army Painter Speed Paint. Oh, sorry, Army Painter Speed Paint Blood Red. All right, I love this stuff. It comes in the Army Painter Starter Kit. All right, but we're also going to thin it down with some Speed Paint Medium. All right, we want to desaturate. Gotta love white balance. We want to desaturate the color because this stuff is designed to go on in one thick coat and get details and all that stuff. But what we're doing is we're going over this thing in areas that don't have a lot of texture. All right, a whole lot of texture. These are shiny, they are flat, the paint is gonna run, and it's not gonna catch on anything except for maybe one dot that I put there. So I'm doing like a 2 to 4 mix. Okay, a 2 to 4 mix, as you guys can see right here. All right, that's where we're at. Yeah, we're gonna do a 2 to 4 mix, and I'm gonna wet my brush just a little so I can get that in. Yeah, see, this is like real blood. All right, and I want to desaturate the color. Now this is looking good. This is looking good. All right, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna start on the shoulder here, and we're just gonna candy coat that on. All right, here we go. Look at that. Okay. You guys see how that's going? Okay, and this is like a medium thickness coat. All right, now with these speed paints, these speed paints are pretty viscous, you know. Have a lot of they got a lot of viscosity. All right. And don't worry. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see with this tiny candy coat, now we could, if you guys are out there, why isn't he using an airbrush? Because I don't know if y'all have airbrushes. All right. So what we want is a nice even coat. Okay. A nice even coat. You know, light touch, light brush strokes. There we go. Okay. Nice coat, nice brush strokes. And we want to get that in there and then let the paint settle and do its thing. All right. You see how it's just catching the light? Just, oh, look at it shine. And we're going to do that around all the parts. Now, since y'all wanted red with polka dots, we're going to do the red with polka dots, but we are also going to do a gold colored trim, maybe copper, maybe gold, but one of those brown metals. Okay. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. Yeah, look at this guy. Ooh. See, we can see the red starting to come through. We want to make sure this is all even. Okay. And what we're doing with this is it's more of a tint. All right. We're doing more of a tinting than a painting. All right. And that is really important for what we're doing on here. Because the key to doing it and getting that real nice shine is just layer after layer after layer after layer. All right. Look at all that. Is it bad if models don't get saturated? What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean bad. You mean if the colors are desaturated, or if the models don't have a whole lot of detail? Let's see. Really wanted to try nail polish for mini paints. Yeah, there are some great nail polish colors, dude. Oh my god. One of the keys for using nail polish, and we'll probably get in that in the hobby haul after we finish this. You know, because yeah, I like the sparkly bling. Y'all know I grew up in LA, and in LA there is a bit of a car culture here, but it's not the cool car culture of the Midwest, you know, where teenagers spend most of their time putting together Hemis. I'm talking the car culture of like, look at my paint job, look at my you know, look at my paint job, look at my customization, and of course, look at my hydraulics and listen to my sound system. So there's a lot of that. And no, my ears don't hang low. Now, but yeah, so we're gonna put this on. And again, if it looks a little bit, splotchy, don't worry about it. One of the best things about these paints is, one, they do a lot of legwork, a lot of self-leveling. All right. And if you notice, we're mainly doing the armor planes. Now, to answer Call of Fortnite's question, and thank you for jumping on that, Xanathades. Is it bad if your colors are desaturated? That really is up to you. It all depends on what effect you're going for. A lot of mini painters, especially those that are just in love with the grim dark, they think that a lot of colors I use are way too saturated, because I like bright colors. If you're looking for dark and gritty, you know, if you want to like if you want your minis to inspire people to talk in the Batman voice, specifically the Christian Bale Batman voice, then they have to be saturated and dark, okay? But the thing is, it's all painting Mickey Mouse, painting a Sin City statue, nah. So, but what's really important when it comes to what you're painting is, what do you like? What are you in this for? You know? Yeah, again, like, I let the chat decide what color. And when they said red, I got inspired to do the Carlight candy code, okay? One, because I'd never done it before, and I had Robert Downey Jr. in my head. Yeah, race car red, you know? So that is one of the things that I decided to do on my own volition. All right, nobody else said I had to. Nobody said I shouldn't. I just did it. In the words of Mr. Warden, what do you want? You know, where do you see yourself? Or where do you see what you're doing? But I wanted to talk to you guys today about something that has a lot to do with where some of these questions seem to come from, and some of the ways that we can address some of this stuff, okay? Because this is a very big deal to me. As you guys know, I do a lot of research for my shows, and then I come on the shows and I do the show, right? And there's something I noticed, and this is actually reflective of my day-to-day life. All right? And this has everything to do with painting, finances, just a lot of different things. But as you guys know, I've been doing a lot of research into the Warhammer 40K lore, the community, the lifestyle, all of that jazz. Okay? And I've noticed something. I saw one of the things I notice when I look at that stuff is the way people talk about price point. And I think back to when I was working at a game store and I saw how much money people were spending there. I saw how much money my bosses were spending on just stuff. And I wanted to talk a little bit about perception, okay? The thought of, the being of, and the feeling of. Because the video that got me started on this, I didn't even watch the whole video, but the thumbnail was how to make affordable 40K armies, and their idea of an affordable 40K army was about $500 US. And I said, that's affordable? Just, you know, in truth, with my bills and what it costs to run the channel and all that stuff, I haven't seen $500 disposable dollars for a long time. At least 2 years. And I'm like, how do people think that that is disposable income? Because at the end of the day, these are toys. Now, make no mistake, 100 is a very interesting number, because I got dinner at AM/PM last night, and it was $5 for 2 terrible little burgers. And I mean terrible, okay? They were the ones that they keep in that whole heat thing. And I'm like, $5? Good Lord. You know, that's kind of where I was at. The hardest type of paint to work with at the beginning stages of learning how to paint, Ganja Guru, are oils. Okay, oil paints, hard to work with. But most mini painters start with acrylic paint. So the 3 main paints that are used are oils, enamels, and acrylic. Okay, now most of the stuff that you see at game stores or in hobby shops and stuff like that, that's done with enamel paint. Sorry, not enamel paint, but acrylic paint. Okay. You know, that's your Reaper, your Army Painter, your Games Workshop. Most of that stuff is enamel paint. And that is actually pretty easy to work with. Primarily because it's water-based. Okay. So if you need to thin it down, you can thin it down pretty easily just by diluting your thing with water, and you're good. Okay. But enamel and oil take mineral spirits, and they also take forever to dry. Forever. I'm talking, hey, I just put a coat of red onto this thing. Yay! Well, I guess I'll get back to it tomorrow. And I'm a very patient man. Don't get me wrong. But also, I'm a very bored man. You know, I live by myself, guys. I don't even have a pet in the Wizard's Tower. A familiar will show up eventually. I thought one did with that boxer hound that was in the backyard the other day, but I was incorrect because I haven't seen him since. So hopefully he's not in the pound. But acrylics dry pretty quick. And when I say pretty quick, by the time I get done with this leg down here, that first shoulder that I put the first coat on should be about dry. And these speed paints take longer to dry than most standard acrylics. Okay. Now, the second question, the second part of your question, what is the hardest color to work with? It's a tie. It's a tie. But let's do an unofficial poll for you mini painters out there. I'm not gonna put the poll up because polls on Twitch require 3 choices, and I'm stuck between 2, which are white and yellow. So you guys out there that paint minis like Xanathades, black and white now in color, and anybody else who's done Neon Arlecchino, y'all tell me which is worse, white or yellow, because they both suck. They are both such a pain. So yeah, that's there's that. Now we got another question, but I'll hit that after I get done with the next paragraph of my point. Now I look at people when they say, yeah, $500 for an army to hobby or to play with. Yeah, that's freaking reasonable. And I watch a lot of very cool YouTube channels, and when I say cool, I mean cool content and cool seeming people, like Eons of Battle. You know, that guy, he's a little bit of a weirdo, but he's one of my favorites. I am live right now, people. Don't call. On my nerves. So when it comes to those folks, one of the reasons that I definitely like Eons of Battle was in his video on his pile of shame. If you guys don't do miniature painting, I will explain it to you very briefly. By the way, we're done with this. Now this shoulder is dry, or dry enough to add more paint. Now that we've got that little base coat, oh darn, I didn't do back here. That's okay, I still have like a drop or two. Oh, and I didn't do the shield either. Just missing spots all over the place. He made it very clear that this is his hobby, his singular hobby. He doesn't go to the movies. He doesn't do RC cars. He doesn't play video games. Warhammer is his thing. So when he talks about, hey, buy this set, it'll save you $90, makes sense. All right. But there's a lot of marketing out there that likes to push this narrative of, well, think about it like streaming services. And just hang on with me. each one, because of marketing and the way that the economy works, tends to push things as though they're trying to be the only thing that you do. Okay. So yeah, you guys see that? Oh, we got the red coming in, and that's looking a lot better. Let's see here. All right, so now we got one more little thing to do, and that's going to be the shield right here. But we put in just enough blood red to make this work. Now we're going to take, now that we have like a little bit of a base coat, okay, of our blood red, now we're going to ladle that on. Okay, so we're going to take a few drops of the blood red, and we're not going to cut it. We're just going to take this straight out of the dropper. Okay. But I get a lot of people saying, dude, it's not that expensive, blah, blah, blah. And I hear something, partly with my ghetto brain, and partly with my old man brain, okay? And my ghetto brain says, yeah, $500 for an army. That is a great savings or something. Like when you look at those start collecting boxes or those boarding action boxes, and they're like, yeah, $200 to get started in this game. And I'm going, $200? Good Lord, right? And then I realized, wait a minute. These folks are spending this much money on a thing they like. And yeah, I'm a big fan of Midwinter Minties too. Midwinter Minis and Goobertown Hobbies. You know, Brent is like the Bob Ross of the Warhammer community, and I like him very much. And of course, you know, there is War Mistress Tanya. She is amazing because she's one of us. So how can I say she's not amazing? Because she's one of us. All right. But I think my ghetto brain is like, do these folks not know that by every metric I have ever known, they are rich? And that's the thing I wanted to get into today. Because yeah, these people are like, oh no, I bought this, and then I saw this, and I bought this, and then I saw this, and I bought this, and then I saw this, and I bought this. And I'm like, how can you do that? Are you not buying groceries? You know? Especially when it comes to things. Yeah, look at that. Especially when it comes to stuff like 40K, you know? Because I'm like, I don't know how you can do that, because I can't just say, dude, that new thing came out and it looks great. I'm just gonna go buy it. I'm like, I can't do that. That's I never have that kind of money, you know? And then I realized, wait a second, I grew up poor and I still identify as poor, you know? And I mean that. I mean, poor is very much a state of mind. And it is important to know the difference between being poor and being broke. I'm poor. How do I know I'm poor? Because I'm broke more than I'm not. So that's my personal metric. Okay. There we go. Yeah. Edible miniatures, right? So what I wanted to talk about, and this is just, you know, I'm bringing it up with money, but this goes down to something we talk about a lot on the show, but I really want to also bring it up as something more, which is the dangers of comparison, especially when it comes to what we perceive, what we experience, and what we believe. Okay? Now, the people that can spend $500 on a Warhammer army or $150, $200 on D&D books, you know, or $300 a month on 3D printer resin, Yeah, thank you, Xanathades. That's a really good point. Climate versus weather. Yeah, it's true. Poor climate, broke weather. I really like that. I'm going to use that a lot, and I'm going to give you credit, but I'm going to be using that as a comparison. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. So, and again, as I said, a lot of folks have this idea, specifically middle class folks. This ain't just a white thing. This is, you know, people equate it to a white thing because we see more white middle class people than we see anything else here in the United States. Okay. Sorry to tell you, but that is just kind of the way it goes. But I have some friends that essentially grew up in the entertainment industry. Ooh, look, we have, yeah, see, our leg is coming apart and I don't like that. So, we got the glue. Yeah, we had to grab the glue. And when I met them, I'm like, dude, you were in this movie and this movie and this movie and this movie and all that stuff. You were rich. And the main one would look at me and go, I'm comfortable. And I never understood what he meant. But I'm starting to understand it a lot more now. Okay. Again, I am poor. I am poor. I come from the poor class. Okay. But I have a little bit more than a lot of my middle class friends do. Mainly because I have the main thing that my middle class friends don't have. Low standards. I'm not looking for a whole lot. But comfortable. There is a comfort in knowing where your next meal is coming from. There's a comfort in knowing that if you want something, you can just go get it. And there's a lot of folks that don't have that. Okay. His leg is broke, but his leg is not poor. Exactly. And that is the perception of rich. Most of my friends who I would consider rich don't consider themselves rich because their standard for being rich is beyond where they are. Okay. I know people that went, I want a Tesla. And they literally found a Tesla online, drove across the country to go get it. And then they said, if I was rich, I wouldn't have had to find a deal in Arkansas. And I'm like, you were able to take a week off of work and drive across the country. Like, you had a car that was decent enough to get you across the country, and you were able to pay for gas to drive from Disneyland to Arkansas. I'm sorry to tell you, man, that's pretty rich. You know, especially for a luxury sports car. You know, I'm like, I'm lucky that I have a motorcycle, but real talk, it was $1,500 from a mechanic that my mommy paid for. So that's a real thing. Would I say that family and friends are more important than being rich? You don't have to ask that question because I'm here right now. Okay. I'm doing this broadcast right now. Okay. And if I didn't think that family and friends were more important than being rich, I would be out there making money and not here painting toys with you guys. But their perception, most people's perception of being rich versus comfortable, okay, is not just I'm able to do the stuff I would normally like to do easily, but I can do whatever it is I imagine. And I'm kind of like, most people think that being rich means not having to have a day job. And I'm like, what do you mean not having to have a day job? Like, Bill Gates has a day job. You know, Elon Musk has a day job that he doesn't spend enough time at. Because if he was actually doing his job, we wouldn't have to deal with him on Twitter and all that other. Anyway, yeah. Now see, I wanted to get to that. Thank you for bringing that up, Xenophage. And there's also the status and standing, the keeping up with the Joneses. And that does come in with the relativity. Now, when I say that my friends are rich, they are rich according to my standards. All right. I grew up. Now, there's a sketch on the show Key and Peele. All right, you guys can look it up. They are the two characters of the valets. All right, and people love it because you got the two valets talking about movies and reenacting movies and all that stuff, and you know, and they're doing that whole thing. Well, one of the reasons that sketch was written was because in the hood and in the trailer park, okay, going to the movies in and of itself was a big thing. And most of the time, only one or two kids on the block actually got to go to the movies. So those one or two kids on the block would come back and reenact the whole movie for the kids that couldn't afford to go. You know, I mean, seriously. It'd be like, oh man, it was so good. And then Freddy tore off his head and he's like, you got the body and I got the brains. And it was like, oh man, that's so cool, and all that stuff. And we would watch the movie vicariously through our friends, okay? Through our friends reenacting it. And when I was a kid, just the whole idea of when I grow up, I want to be rich enough to go to the movies whenever I want, okay? But when you grow up poor, you think about the stuff you can do and not the stuff you can buy. Again, I have a 3D printer farm that I put together over the past 5 or 6 years. Okay. I was not able to go out and buy 6 resin printers and 4 or 5 FDM printers. I went to like junkyards and stuff going, hey, that thing is busted. Yeah, I thought about using it myself, but I just didn't like it. It's too much work. Oh, can I have it? Sure, if you can figure out how it works. That's how I got my stuff. You know, like real talk. That's how I got most of my stuff. And I'm like, woo boo. I'm glad I know how to figure out machines. You know, and that's kind of how I did it. And it's a whole lot. And what I did learn from rich people and actual people that are successful and doing what they want to do with their lives and they don't have to work a job that they do not like is the triad of production that I talk to you guys about all the time, you know, which is good, fast, cheap. You can have two. All right. Now, I'm a big fan of mediocre and cheap. So yeah, I'm that guy that like, I'll work on a project car for 3, 4, 5 years. If it's an all right car, you know. I'll let you guys know my motorcycle, as of this year, can buy its own liquor. Like real talk, all right? My bike is 21 years old. Okay, and I'm dead serious. It's a 2002. He says in 2023. You know, yeah, wait, hang on. Friends and family. Family and friends, what make people rich? That's more valuable than money. It's easy to say if you got a lot of money. Or if you're from a place where your basic needs are actually taken care of. All right? Here in the United States, money isn't just a matter of, well, that whole thing of money don't buy happiness. It's true. I believe that wholeheartedly. I do believe that money doesn't make people happy. However, and this is something I got to put out there because, again, here in the United States, we love using stripped down and oversimplified platitudes to make people feel better about themselves or their situation. Money does not buy happiness. However, the lack of money